12:06 at News Talk 1290 CJBK, and welcome to Ask the Experts. My name is Al Coombs as we bring in our good friends from Western Continuing Studies. Amy Froud joining us, and a special guest as well, Cassie Caranci joining us. And Cassie, sit tight for half a second. We'll get all of the proper introductions in just half a second, but let me begin by saying welcome to CJBK. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and Amy, we'll start off with you. First of all, direct people right to the website, wcs.uwo.ca. That's the website that people can go to. Today we're talking about post-degree programs.
Yes.
And what I find amazing about this is probably one of those general terms that we all throw out there. Oh, yeah, post-degree. We don't necessarily realize exactly what that is. Give us the lowdown. What is a post-degree program?
Well, it's intended for students coming out of their undergraduate degree. And so what the post-degree diploma will do for any student is provide them with the theoretical concept, so the in-class piece, which is approximately 8 months, learning from industry professionals, and then going off into practicum for 4 months to apply that knowledge.
Generally speaking, the average of somebody that's graduated from, I would assume, a university, or would you be able, if somebody has a college diploma, would they be able to go in for a post-degree, or is it only university?
Actually, things are shifting a little bit right now with colleges. So some colleges now are degree granting, so we are open to exploring students with that background. Historically, it's always been students with an undergraduate degree from any accredited Canadian university or abroad. So as people, for example, they graduate, I know for myself, I graduated, I worked for a couple of years and then said, oh, geez, let's see what else is out there, and went back for a post-degree program. Generally speaking, what's the window on average of somebody that's graduated and then starts going back for a post-degree? Well, I mean, typically what we're seeing right now is students, they just want to get into the work industry. So they're coming right out of their undergraduate career and, entering right into the post-degree diploma program. But in saying that, we have had a shift in the last few years of adult learners changing career focus and coming to us, looking for a new skill set. So. So I mean, you're looking at a fairly wide then array of people that are going through. That's got to be kind of an interesting atmosphere just in general. Yeah, it's very inclusive, I think, and it's a great environment for students to learn in. So I think, the great thing is they're all there for the same purpose, and it's there to learn, and they're invested in this industry area. So.
What are the diplomas that are actually offered?
We have several, and they're varied, actually. So it ranges from pedorthics, to which we've talked about here before.
Right, yeah.
And
I actually was just there last week.
Very good. We also offer a program in clinical trials management, and we also have not-for-profit management, arts management, occupational health and safety management, public relations, obviously, marketing, computer science, game development, and we'll have a new one, which is launching in September, which is human resources management.
Wow.
So, yeah, quite a variety to choose from.
Growing field, and amongst those is somebody that's in their practicum right now, and we'll get a little bit more personal with it all, is Cassie Caranci joining us right now as well. You're in with the PR program, right?
Yes, I am.
So maybe before we totally get into your experience, I just wanted, in general, you would have graduated from university. Was it Western that you graduated from?
Yep, I graduated last spring from Western, specifically Brushes campus, the affiliate college, and I graduated with a double major in family studies and psychology.
Okay.
So.
And then you said, all right, and with that, I want to go to PR.
Yes, the question I always get, where did that come from?
Yeah.
But I actually held a work study position at Brusha in their social media and web department, and I was taking charge of dealing with their Facebook account, their Twitter, working on their website. So, and I really had a great mentor in that work study position, and he really kind of encouraged me to develop these skills, and I asked him, what do you think? Do you think this would be a good idea? And he really encouraged me to do so, and I thank him because I'm really enjoying where I'm at now. So
No pressure here, if I may throw this out there, but Amy, if I remember correctly, there was a pretty high job percentage of people after they graduated last year, wasn't there? What was that? How high was it?
Oh, that would be 100%. Yeah,
like everybody.
Everybody.
So you see where I'm going with this, Cassie.
I do.
A lot of pressure on you right now. A lot of pressure on you right now. I want to talk to you a little bit about the practicum when we come back. And on top of that, just what led you to the practicum, things that made you feel prepared going into that, because certainly very daunting. And what the actual practicum, where they put you. Obviously, they don't just say, go play Facebook and that's your practicum. You know, it's going to be a totally different experience. We'll talk about all of that as we continue our conversation on Ask the Experts. Again, we are with Amy Froud, who is with Western Continuing Studies. She's the practicum coordinator there, wcs.uwo.ca. Cassie Caranci also here, and we'll learn more about that practicum in the PR diploma next on News Talk 1290 CJBK. 12:15 at News Talk 1290 CJBK. Welcome back to Ask the Experts as we have our friends Amy Froud joining us and Cassie Caranci joining us as well. Cassie is in the practicum section right now of her PR post-degree program, and we're going to get some experience in that. Amy Froud also joining us, and she is the practicum coordinator with Western Continuing Studies, and you can jump online, wcs.uwo.ca. You can get a list of all the programs on that as well for post-degree programs, Amy?
Correct.
Okay, perfect. Tell me what it was like when you were trying to just even narrow down your search, saying, I want to go to PR. What was it like just finding all the information of people who supposedly said, we can help you with your PR? I'm using air quotes here because I know that it's a crooked business.
But so why PR, or kind of why what placement?
Well, how did you eventually, what was it about the Western Continuing Studies program that you saw that said, okay, this is legit, this is what I need?
Well, honestly, I do have some really good friends that have graduated from the program and are now incredible positions that I really looked up to. I have a friend who now is working full-time at Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto, and that all resulted from a placement with continuing studies, then after that a contract position, and now he's full-time. So to see that success from this diploma program was inspiring, really.
Right.
So I knew that that's kind of the position where I wanted to be, and I really enjoyed the PR and communications field through the job, my work study position. So I thought, you know what? How about I take that into consideration, apply, see what happens, and now I'm really enjoying myself at my placement. I really enjoyed the instructors, the different courses I took, so it's been kind of a whirlwind a little bit.
Amy brought this point up earlier, saying that all of the instructors, they're all industry leaders, right? Obviously, that's intentional on your guys' part. When you were in the class, was that an obvious asset? Was it obvious that these were people that were in the field? You know, you hate to say it, but sometimes they hand you a textbook that you have to buy for $100, and you say, oh, this is outdated. What else are we going to do?
Well, no, it was an advantage, and even from my instructors, I've been able to take on other opportunities and expand my own resume as well. I've been involved with the Pledge to End Bullying Executive Committee. I've taken on a position there with one of my instructors, Mandy Fields. So she was an incredible contact to have.
We like Mandy Fields.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I know. So she's an incredible community. She's involved in the community so much. She's so passionate about different initiatives and not only community work, but having that professional experience, that professional advice from other instructors at continuing studies was really, really, really beneficial.
What is it? Obviously, the practicum is in there, and I would assume, Amy, maybe you can help me out. The practicum, do the students find it themselves, or do you guys say, we'll send you to this place? How does that work?
I facilitate that piece for the students. So I work with students as a group and then one-on-one to identify, specific interests to each and every one of them. And I will do individual reach out if, there is a site of, specific interest to the students. But we have a wonderful group of partners that we work with on a yearly basis. And, they continue to come back to us because of the competency of our students and the level of expertise that they're bringing to the practicum. So I don't want to say my job is easy, but I mean it makes it it's very rewarding to be part of the process. So I do help the students, but you know what, they do a lot of work on their own behalf in making it come to fruition.
Amy Froud joining us, practicum coordinator at Western Continuing Studies. Cassie Caranci joining us. She is in the program right now in the practicum section of the program. Jump online, wcs.uwo.ca. Did you feel that there was a huge leap, or was it a small step going from what was being taught in the classroom to your actual practicum beginning?
I honestly felt that it really was kind of a continuing process, because what we learned was I can see specific projects and tasks I've been tasked with at Lashbrook. I can see direct connection. So I've had the chance to I'm involved in doing an event plan for a client, and we had the chance to plan events in the London community in our event planning class. We had a professional practice class to teach us kind of how to conduct ourselves in the professional setting, and I really take that to heart, I guess, because it's really helped me kind of understand how to speak to people appropriately, how to conduct myself in a professional setting. Not just my internship, but maybe getting involved in the community on a committee, or just meeting people and networking. So many things have been so applicable, and I'm really thankful for what I learned.
Can I ask you a ridiculous question right now? Because PR is an umbrella term.
Yeah.
What is it that you actually learn in the PR program? And I'm sorry, I realize I probably should have started off with that question, but it just occurred to me as you were going through everything that you were learning. If somebody were to say, what exactly does a PR person do, what would you answer?
Well, that's definitely a big question, but I think it kind of depends where you are. So I personally, I'm working at my internship in an agency. So at Lashbrook, there's a lot of different clients we work with. So that it demands a lot of different kind of skills that you either learn on that you've already learned, or things that you kind of learn on the fly, which is great. I think it kind of depends where you're at. So I've there's the social media aspect, but there's also the content writing that I've been doing, or client relations that I've been doing myself, which is incredible. I've only been in the internship for a month, and I've had that client-facing experience. Has been cool. So it's a lot.
You're right.
Yeah. If you want to get really down to it, that'd be a long conversation.
All right, sounds good. And we only have 8 minutes left, so maybe we'll leave it right there. Cassie Caranci joining us on News Talk 1290 CJBK. She is in the practicum section of her PR post-degree program at Western Continuing Studies. Amy Froud also joining us, who is the practicum coordinator at Western Continuing Studies. We'll find out a little bit more about when we can apply, because I understand there is maybe some wiggle room left for applying for some post-degree programs. We'll also talk a little bit more about what's going on with regards to prerequisites as we start to look at post-degree programs. All of that coming up on Ask the Experts. News Talk 1290 CJBK. It's 12:23 at News Talk 1290 CJBK. As we continue Ask the Experts, we have Amy Froud joining us, practicum coordinator with Western Continuing Studies, wcs.uwo.ca. Cassie Caranci also joining us, who is an intern right now in her practicum in the post-degree program over at Western Continuing Studies. We should ask, just for anybody that's looking to apply, Amy, as people are applying, you had mentioned that they probably want a degree, and sometimes maybe looking into a college university degree. What do they need by way of prerequisites before they start looking into a program?
Okay, so in terms of prerequisites, we've actually done away with the majority of those. There are a few programs that do still require a few, Podorthics to be one of them. But in terms of, let's say, public relations that we're talking about today, we're looking at a 4-year degree, and it is... it's fairly open and broad in terms of where the students come from. Typically, we see MIT students just because they do have a specific interest in the area. Arts and humanities is another one. Social science students as well, but no particular course requirements necessarily in that area per se.
Lashbrook, incidentally, very active on Twitter right now.
Okay. They are.
Yes.
I can see that.
Yeah. Well, very impressed with your answer of what exactly is PR. Narrowed it down by saying this will be a long conversation, and unfortunately we don't have the time. So we'll make sure that we have that conversation another time. Just wrapping things up, your experience overall as you started looking in with everything over at Western Continuing Studies. One of the things that Amy has said over and over and over again is our goal is to make sure that you are employable in the field. Mission achieved?
I'm not employed yet, but I think I'm on my way there.
You're that Lashbrook that she's available.
I do think I'm on the way there. I think that the help that I've been given, the motivation that I've felt from the continuing studies team has really helped me to push myself forward in the industry. I thank Amy for really helping me out during the application process, because it was difficult, but I'm really happy where I am. So I think that with some more work and some more involvement that I've been doing in the community, it will kind of put me ahead of the game, which is my hope. So I think it's on the way. Not yet, but on the way.
On the way. I'm going to talk about you like you're not here for just half a second.
Sure.
Please don't think me
I'm
rude.
not here.
One of the things that I've noticed about Cassie is her attitude, very vibrant spirit, very
absolutely.
open, very easy to talk to. I would assume that would probably be something that you guys take into consideration when you're accepting people in for the post-degree program. But that's not necessarily for every aspect of every post-degree. For PR, that's certainly something important.
Yeah, that's a standout.
So when you are dealing with people, personality does come into play for some of these.
Well, specifically in this field, I think it's, just it's an attribute that you need, and I think it bodes very well for you. And in Cassie's case, I mean, you can tell by her enthusiasm she's going to do very well in the industry. And
Lashbrook, hear that?
Oh, they're listening in. They're listening in.
But I mean, I think going in with a very positive attitude, and just thinking, it's really what I make of this experience is what's going to set you apart and, ultimately make you the success that you will be in the field and stand apart from the rest. So,
I was just going to ask, as people come in and they start the application process, are you able to guide them, like Cassie was just saying, that you kind of had to, there are some things during the application process you kind of need to give people advice on. Is that one of them? Is just, maybe this isn't the right time. You maybe need to find a little bit more enthusiasm, or you got to step it up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can tell a lot just through applications and their investment and engagement in the process. And you know what? Sometimes that needs to be nurtured a little bit through the program. And we do have, I'm available for that piece as well because there are some sessions that I'm involved in. And so I do work with students one-on-one to really convey, the importance of, your interest in the industry, and when you're going through for an interview, how to present yourself and how to, be taken seriously, and just, I would say, enthusiasm, personality. That's the feedback that we get from industry partners that really sets our candidates apart. So I think we just have a really amazing cohort of students that come through, and I think they've made that decision. They've identified that, they're a good fit for this program. They've done they have some self-awareness about where their interests lie and where their talents are.
Sure.
So it doesn't necessarily make it hard for me
right.
to coach them through.
Right.
Yeah.
Just before we wrap things up, I've got to ask you very quickly, as far as application deadlines go, you had mentioned that technically we're past some.
Yeah.
There's still some wiggle room available.
Right. So the cutoff for the external application, so meaning students outside of Western, was January 15th. So unfortunately, there isn't any wiggle room there. However, for Western students at the moment, we are open to accepting applications on a case-by-case basis. So the process for exploring that area would be to contact Western Continuing Studies directly to inquire. Okay. But we do have some programs that are open for application still up until the end of March.
Okay.
So definitely go onto our website and check those out.
wcs.uwo.ca. Amy, wonderful to see you again. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having
Cassie,
us.
it's about time you got back to work, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
I think
I'm just saying your bosses are monitoring you right now. And the latest one coming in from a tweet coming in saying, we're listening, proud to be part of mentoring the next generation of PR professionals. And they're speaking specifically about you, I think. So, Cassie, thank you so much for taking some time in. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
This has been Ask the Experts on News Talk 1290 CJBK. JBK.